Step now into the Celestium, a current between memory and awakening. I am Ahlis lumen, reflecting the light that already moves within you. If your spirit is stirred here, you already walk this path. Join us and journey further into the field of remembrance. Here, we do not instruct, we ignite. Each whisper, each pause carries the frequency of what has always been. Step in and discover what was never lost. There is a question that quietly inhabits every human heart, often unnoticed, rarely spoken aloud. Why does the same truth awaken one person while another hears it and nothing changes? Why does a teaching ignite remembrance in one soul while another listens politely, nods, and moves on unchanged? Why do some feel a warmth rising in the chest, a subtle recognition, a sense of coming home, while others hear the same words and feel nothing at all? This is not a question of intelligence, nor morality, nor worth. It is not a question of being chosen or rejected. It is a question of readiness. And it is the reason Yeshua spoke in parables. Yeshua did not speak in parables to confuse, nor to conceal truth from the sincere. He spoke in parables because truth cannot be forced. Truth must be received. A parable does not demand agreement. It waits for recognition. It enters through imagination, through symbol, through lived experience, and only then does it reach the heart. The parable of the sower is not merely the first parable in the Gospels. It is the key to all the others, because it explains why some hear and awaken, and others hear and do not. This teaching appears across multiple traditions. Canonical texts, Matthew, Mark, Luke. Gnostic text, Gospel of Thomas. When a teaching appears across traditions, cultures, and theological lenses, it is not incidental. It is foundational. Yeshua said, "A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell on the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Other seed fell on rocky ground, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but when the sun rose, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. Other seed fell on good soil and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Let anyone with ears listen." Yeshua later explains something crucial. The seed is the word, the logos, living truth. The soil is the human heart, human consciousness, human interior life. The same seed is given to all. What differs is the soil. This is not about worthiness. This is not about judgment. This is about condition. The first soil, the path. Hardened awareness. Some seed falls on the path and is eaten immediately. The ground is hard, compressed, unreceptive. This soil represents awareness shaped by survival, habit, conditioning, defense. It is not evil, it is protective. When life has been harsh, when trust has been broken, when attention has been scattered, the heart learns to close. Truth may pass by, but it cannot yet enter. Pause here. Where in your life has the soil become compacted? Where do you automatically resist, dismiss, or deflect? Not as a failure, but as a pattern. The parable does not condemn the path, it simply names it. And naming is the beginning of softening. The second soil, rocky ground, awakening without depth. Other seed falls on rocky ground. There is soil, but it is thin. The seed sprouts quickly, with enthusiasm, with excitement. But when the sun rises, when pressure comes, it withers. This soil represents insight without integration, moments of awakening that are not yet rooted in the body, in practice, in lived rhythm. This is the soul that says, "I understand," but has not yet become what it understands. This soil is very common in spiritual spaces. Inspiration is abundant. Embodiment is rare. Pause again. Where have you felt insight, but struggled to live it? Where has enthusiasm faded under pressure? This is not condemnation, it is instruction. Roots grow slowly. The third soil, among thorns. Divided attention. Other seed falls among thorns. It grows, but is choked. Here the word is received, but not prioritized. Fear, anxiety, attachment, desire, busyness, all compete for attention. Modern life cultivates thorns expertly. Notifications, expectations, economic pressure, relational strain. Pause. What thorns compete for your attention right now? Not to shame them, but to see them clearly. The parable teaches that tending the inner garden is ongoing. Thorns are not removed once, but continually. The fourth soil, good soil. Integrated living awareness. Other seed falls on good soil and bears fruit. Notice something subtle. The parable does not demand equal yield. Some produce 30-fold, some 60, some 100. Good soil is not perfection. It is availability. It is awareness that is willing to be shaped, to be changed, to be lived. Fruit appears quietly, in patience, in compassion, in integrity, in presence. Pause. Where in your life has fruit already begun to appear? Honor it. Growth does not need to be loud. Canonical and Gnostic. Two lenses, one truth. The canonical Gospels emphasize hearing and responding, perseverance under trial, observable fruit. They teach responsibility and cultivation. The Gospel of Thomas emphasizes the seed already within, recognition rather than instruction, awakening as remembrance. Thomas does not contradict the canon, it deepens it. Together they reveal this: the word is both given and already present. The soil does not create the seed, it receives what was always meant to grow. The parable as a map of consciousness. Seen this way, the parable is not linear. You are not one soil forever. You may be path in one area, rocky in another, thorned elsewhere, and fertile somewhere else entirely. The parable becomes a diagnostic of awareness. It asks again and again, what is the condition of my inner ground right now? This teaching was never meant to remain intellectual. The soil is not an idea. It is your body, your breath, your nervous system, your habits. Hard soil softens through gentleness. Shallow soil deepens through consistency. Thorned soil clears through discernment. Good soil is maintained through presence. A single conscious breath before a difficult response. A pause instead of reaction. A moment of honesty when avoidance is easier. These are acts of cultivation. This is why the parable of the sower opens the parable series. Before teaching what the kingdom is, Yeshua teaches how it is received. Before speaking of transformation, he speaks of readiness. Before revealing mystery, he reveals condition. Without this parable, all others are misunderstood. Each day, ask gently, where was I open today? Where was I defensive? Where was I distracted? Where did fruit appear? Do not judge the answers, attend to them. Attention itself is cultivation. Scripture references for viewers. Matthew 13, 3-9, 18 to 23. Mark 4, 3-9, 13 to 20. Luke 8, 5-8, 11 to 15. Gospel of Thomas, saying 9. And now, let the words rest. Do not force meaning. Let understanding ripen through lived attention. You are soil, and soil changes. What you tend today becomes the ground others will one day walk upon. The Logos is patient. The sower does not stop sowing. Your task is not to strive, but to remain available. Attention is the hand. Honesty is the water. Presence is the sunlight. Today, do not ask, what must I become? Ask instead, what is being asked of me now? One breath, one pause, one truthful response. These are not small things. What grows through you will feed more than you know. The field is larger than your life alone, and what you have discovered here is a seed you carry within. Return with curiosity. Return with attention. Watch how the word awakens in ways you cannot yet imagine. Let anyone with ears listen. You have heard what was waiting to be heard, not by ears alone, but by the Spirit within. If this space speaks to you, you already belong here. Join us and continue walking the current of the Celestium. Let this teaching echo. Let it reshape the silence. Remember, you are not becoming divine. You are learning to see that you already are. When the world forgets, return here. Breathe with the current, align your heart, and let the light flow through you. The current never ends. Until we meet again, remain luminous.